Remember how last format I was actively taking a dump on yellow literally whenever I could because the deck was just so tier 5 trash. It was absolutely awful. But now I gotta eat my own words. Yellow is tier 1. Yeah, I know, right. You guys can't believe that either. I'm speechless. But I built a deck, I've given it a shot, and you know what? It's actually pretty decent now. Tier 1 status, definitely. So let's talk about it. So, Shinegreymon, this deck. This deck is the tier 1 yellow deck that everyone is talking about. And yeah, before anyone else mentions it, yeah, Mastamon is a really good card too. And yeah, there are some other yellow variants going around. But yellow got the cards it needed in this set to be much, much better, much more consistent. All around now, it's a deck that can rival Omnimon and tier 0 green to an extent. That won't be an issue though in a little bit, but, you know, whatever. So I'm going to go into the deck profile, I'm going to go into what I think about the deck, some of the deck choices, the combos, and the other cards I was going to put in the deck, but just couldn't find space for. Space is actually the hardest in this deck that I've ever had in my life. So we got to discuss that too. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn that notification bell into smashed potatoes. That way you know when all these amazing deck profiles come out. I'm really excited to show off this deck. I can finally do something with yellow on this channel that's not Rookie Rush, and I'm super excited, so let's do this. So we're going to go ahead and start with our babies, like always. Set 1.5 blessed us with this Upamon that says, once per turn, if you have 3 or 4 security cards, when attacking, you draw a card. I like drawing cards. I think this is the best yellow baby we have right now. And this whole keeping your security at 3 or fewer cards theme is going to keep cropping up in this deck. This card will resolve a lot, and that's really fun because drawing is cool. Our 5th baby is a Tokamon, because we are playing DP dropping strategies, and it'll just give you an extra 1,000 attack points once in a while. It's there. You know, I'm not a huge fan of it, but it's the best out of what we got right now, and that's okay. So those are our babies. Now this is one of those decks where usually I do cover the Digimon first, but I think we need to talk about the Tamers. Right now, I think that this is the best Tamer that yellow has, the TK being a very close second. But I'm playing 4 of this because if you have 3 or fewer security cards, you gain a memory to start your turn. It's very much like Joe Kiddo in the Big Black Block deck, just gets you a free memory for existing. It costs 3 to play, which potentially might even be free because of other cards or its security effect. But the fact that it's not a TK-like card that says you just get 3, your opponent can't play into that and take advantage of that memory that you're going to get anyway. This is just free extra memory. And as long as you keep your security at 3 or lower, which you will do most of the game, it's going to be very good. And now, yeah, we're playing 4 of the TK, the one that says when you play it, look at your security, grab a card. If it's yellow, replace the one at the top of your deck. Really good card. And it's the one that says, yeah, you start with 3 memory at your turn. I'm not a super huge fan of it, but the fact that it lets you loot through your security, see what's there, and just basically pick 1 of 5 cards is very good. So we are playing 4 of it. Finally, our last 2 Tamers here are the other TK. It's the last yellow Tamer left, actually, in the game right now. It gives all your security Digimon on your opponent's turn 2,000 DP. That's it. It's the least useful one out of the 3 of these, in my opinion. That's why I'm going 4-4-2. But this magic number has come up occasionally. Having both is kind of annoying. But besides that, I can't really justify 3 or 4. Maybe I'll try it in the future. I have no idea. But yeah, 10 Tamers. The rest of our deck at this point is Digimon. One final little comment about these Tamers. My big problem with the Shinegreymon deck, my one little irk, is that these are technically bricks, so to speak. They're not Digimon. They don't give you board presence that helps you break things. You need them for your cards later on, absolutely, that's why they're there. However, they don't help you immediately, so you might just waste turns playing Tamers if you have nothing else going on. Yeah, you're trying to play as many of them for free, but sometimes you can't. Sometimes you have to waste a turn. That's my only irk. And really, because 10 of them are Tamers, that limits you to 40 Digimon in your deck. That isn't a lot to work with, believe it or not. But yeah, just a small little complaint. Not really a big deal, but just something you need to be aware of, because deck building in this deck is harder than most. So, on to the meat and potatoes here. we're playing only 14 level 3s, again, because space is super tight. We're playing 4 of this Patamon. It's really freaking good. On play, reveal 4 cards from the top of your deck, and add all yellow Tamers to your hand. Put the rest on the bottom. All yellow Tamers. We play 10. You'll always get 1. Maybe you'll get more. Happens. So, I've never seen this card miss in this deck, which is really fun. So it always gets you something, which is nice. Now, in my opinion, the best yellow inheritable in the game, thanks to set 1.5, in terms of rookies, is Agumon. If you have 3 or more yellow Tamers in play, draw a card. You will have 3 or more yellow Tamers in play very early on in this game. This is almost always live, and it's drawing. That's really it. Unfortunately, we play no shenanigans where your yellow cards can stand themselves and attack again, get a free another draw, but, you know, having a draw is good, so it is there. Next up, we're playing 3 Labramon from this yellow starter deck. It's inheritable when an opponent's Digimon is deleted by dropping DP to 0, draw 1. It's not once per turn, which is dumb. Once you get set up in the mid to late game, you could be drawing multiple cards off a single instance with this card. It's kind of stupid, but it is mid to late game more powerful, so we're only playing 3 as opposed to 4. And the last yellow rookie, 3 Patamon, it is a once per turn. When DP drops to 0, gain 1 memory. I can see an argument for playing 4 of this and 2 of this. I almost did. However, I just wanted to have access to that extra memory because I did really like having that extra memory. And, you know, you draw a lot in this deck already, so this is, you know, you don't need all the draw. You need memory at some point. So that's my ratio for level 3s. There's 14 of them. It's less than I'm usually playing, but again, that's because you're playing 10 Tamers, and it really cuts into your deck space. Now on to the 4s. We're playing 4 of the yellow blocker, really good at blocking, especially in this deck when you need to keep your security at like 3 or less. It kind of puts you in a danger zone having security that low sometimes, but having the blockers really helps, so it's really good. Next, we're playing 2 of this guy. Came out in set 1.5. It's your 1 cost to evolve. That's it. Next, we're playing 2 Shinegreymon. Now, originally when I was trying this deck, I thought this card was a hard 4 of, like, you could not play any less. And you know what? I was wrong, I think. I think I'm wrong. 2 is fine. It costs 4 to play, which is good, it's cheap. 2 to evolve is fine. It's inheritable is what makes it really, really shine out, though. If you have 3 or more yellow Tamers in play, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 2,000 for the turn, and that's when attacking. Now, as funny as this might seem, the minus 2,000 doesn't come up a whole hell of a lot. It really doesn't. Sometimes it lets you hit some magic numbers, sure, but unless you have multiple of these on the field, which you never will, because Digimon die all over the place in this format, you know, it's not that great. But 2 is fun. I think 2 is the perfect number. Yeah, I was trying 4 at one point. It's not for me, but I can understand if you guys want to play 2 more instead of these. I'm playing those because they're 3 to play. I think that's really important in a deck with only 14 rookies to have as cheap cards as possible to get into your level 6s eventually. So I am opting to play 2 of this. Originally it was 4 of this and none of this, but now we're doing 2 and 2. Again, if you guys want to drop the ratio to your liking, perfectly okay. On to the 5s. We play 4 of the best level 5 in the deck, hands down, Shinegreymon. It's a when Digivolving, play yellow Tamer from your hand for free. The on play doesn't activate. So ideally you don't want to use this to play this guy. You really don't want to do that. You want to use it to play this if you can, because it costs 3. This one does cost 2, yeah, I play that for free too, but like this is technically more value than the other one. And this is fine too if you have nothing else. Sometimes that's just how it is. It's not really a big deal. I wouldn't worry about it too much. But yeah, free yellow Tamer. Really good. Its inheritable is even better. When you have 3 or more yellow Tamers in play, it's plus security. Security plus 1. Just for playing all these extra Tamers, you get extra security. What's not to love? You gotta play this card at 4. Next, we're playing 3 Sirenmon. The Sirenmon are here because they're 5 to play. That's it. Again, it's kind of going back to the whole, we don't have a lot of room to play with in our deck, so we need cheap cards to get up to our level 6s. That's why Sirenmon's there at a 3 of. It was actually there as a 4 of, but I replaced the 1 copy for this random hot, spicy tech. Now, when I say hot and spicy tech, I mean, look at those. For real. Just kidding, though. On a serious conversation, it's here for a reason. Its when Digivolving isn't that fantastic. One of your opponent's Digimon gets -2 security attack. It's an okay ability, it's for one turn, so you can use it to like maybe temporarily stop a big guy from ending your life. You know, that's what it's there for. Its inheritable is what makes it very fascinating to me though. If you have 3 or fewer security cards, when attacking, you play yellow level 3 from your hand without paying the memory cost. Now you guys remember how insane Agumon is, right? There's a reason it's going to 1, and this does a very, very similar thing. Yeah, you have to have 3 or fewer security, but that's the theme of the deck that we're trying to go for, the little subplot, keeping our security at 3 or lower. So this has actually made its way into the deck because it provides an option to be a little extra aggressive, which sometimes wins games. That's exactly why it's there. I'm not 100% sure how I feel about it. I haven't seen it too much, to be honest, but when I play it, it feels really good to have it as an option, and sometimes getting that extra rookie actually helps. So there is that. I might try bumping up to 2, I might leaving it at 1, I might take it out completely, I have no idea. But it is a really good card nonetheless, and I would definitely recommend giving it a try. That's it for our 5s, there's 8 of them. We have 8 cards left in our deck, and those are level 6s. 4 are the big boss monster, Shinegreymon. So this card's absolutely nuts. Yeah, it costs 4 to evolve, that's a little annoying, but like the benefits way outweigh that, let me tell you. When it digivolves, you suspend all your yellow Tamers. For each one you suspend, you give something -4,000. So in theory, if you have all 10 Tamers on board, which you won't, but you could -40,000 doing it in 10 different chunks. You could board wipe with this card. This card board wipes sometimes. Absolutely insane. And to top it all off, during your turn, it gets plus 1,000 DP for each Tamer you have in play. So, like, if you have 4 Tamers in play, which is quite common, this is an Omnimon level attack. It's absolutely dumb, and it could get you security attack +1 because of Shinegreymon. Really good card, the main build around this deck, you gotta play 4 of it. Next, we're playing 2/Angemon. When digivolving, one of your opponent's Digimon gets -8,000. It goes there with the whole DP dropping theme that we got going on. Sometimes it lets you just take something out. Between that and maybe Shinegreymon, 10,000 damage. It's okay. It's a decent card. It's there as a 2 of. The last 2 cards are a really interesting spicy tech that I don't know if anyone else is playing in this deck, but I simply adore it. Mastamon. Yeah, technically it's purple, but you can evolve it on a yellow by paying 4, and that's okay. So this card reads, when digivolving, trash 1 card from the top of both players' security stacks. That's a very key element, because the opponent might keep you in a 4 security range until they're ready to kill you, and this card says, nah, I'm at 3 now, and by the way, you lose 1 too. And it's just ridiculous. It doesn't trigger the security, that's really good. Then, after that, you play 1 purple or yellow Digimon card with a level of 4 or less from your trash without paying the memory cost. I can't begin to tell you how insane this card is, and how much I want to take out these for 2 more. However, the /Angemons do have value, so they're there for now. This is a spicy tech for multiple reasons. Being able to bring back anything level 4 or lower that you want is really freaking good. But the number 1 target is the blockers. This effectively gives you 6 blockers in your deck. Having blockers is very, very key in an endgame where you have 3 or fewer security, and this card just helps you with it. Now, this isn't a complete build around Mastamon deck like I have going on in the works, so yeah, we are only playing 2, but this card is insane. The fact that you can just recycle and take a security from your opponent's board and set yourself up to 3 or less. Yeah, if you've already like 2 security, then it's annoying, you know, whatever, or 1 security even. But it definitely has its merits. It's there, it's come up, it's won games. Definitely recommend giving it a try. Just a couple of honorable mentions that I do want to talk about real quick. A few cards that would have went in the deck, but literally just couldn't find the room. The number 4 spot here is Antilamon. It's a 2 cost to evolve, that's why I was considering it, but there's no room. Next, number 3 honorable mention, Angelwomon. This one from the starter deck, when digivolving, it has recovery +1. This was there just so you can manage your security and kind of keep yourself at 3 if you were like less, you know. If you had 2 or 1 or 0 security, you could play this and recover 1. However, I found it to be unnecessary, so I didn't end up playing it. It is good though, it's just mostly unnecessary. The number 2 spot here, I was going to play a couple of these because they cost 2 to play, that's it. But there was literally no room and everything else was more valuable than that. And the number 1 spot, this, Lopmon. I am so angry that I don't have room for this, but everything else in the deck is technically better than it, because everything else gets you cards, except for the Patamon that gets you memory. This new card says, on play, look at the top card of your security stack. You can add it to your hand to trigger draw 1. So basically it's a pot of greed on legs. That's what this card is. It gets you closer to that sweet spot of 3 security, and I was only going to play it as a 2 of, but I literally had no room for it. Everything else was more valuable, and over time, over the course of the game, the other inheritables, like the Agumon and the Labramon, they net you more cards. And that's just the reason why this didn't end up making it. However, a yellow deck will be coming very soon on this channel that does play 4 of this, and I love it. It's actually just ridiculous, because you don't have to use it, right? And sometimes you'll evolve for free. So it's whatever. It's a really good card. But yeah, that's Shinegreymon. Let's go wrap it up. That's it, guys. That's the profile. You know, honestly, if I was going to a big event and didn't have such an Omnimon hard-on, for lack of a better word, I would have no problem playing this deck and doing, I think, quite well. With the right pilot, this is a good control deck that can just prevent your opponent from essentially playing the game, which is really cool, but not in like the floodgate way, but like you're just controlling their Digimon, you're controlling what stays on the board, you're controlling your memory, you're drawing cards. It has everything it needs, and it's a really good deck. Definitely recommend giving it a shot. And with that, I'm done. Can't believe I finally did a really decent yellow deck profile on this channel. It's crazy, but we'll see you later, guys. Take care.